Hello YouTube, this is the Florida Rider. Just out and about on another jaunt to nowhere. Enjoying the bike, enjoying the sun, enjoying the Senna. Let's just stop for this light. Today I'd like to talk about unusual customs you've noticed in different countries. And the first one that I would like to bring up is in Bulgaria. I visited the Varna region of Bulgaria back in 1998. And that's where I learned where yes is no and no is yes. Okay, in Western countries like mine, and I assume a lot of yours, this means yes, and this means no. In short, you nod your head up and down for yes, and you shake it back and forth for no. Well, in Bulgaria, it's the opposite. This means no, and this means yes. Now, I don't speak a word of Bulgarian or Russian, so when I was in Bulgaria, I had to do everything with the universal pointing. You know, that, or you know, let me see it, things like that. And at first, I was puzzled because of the fact that when I went into a shop, by the way, nobody speaks English there, or at least in 1998 they didn't. I would give the appropriate signal to get it across to the shop owner that I wanted to see something, you know, and that, and or whatever worked. And then I would say, yes. And they would put it back on the shelf. And I just stand there like, huh? And the lady would just look at me like I was crazy. But eventually I did get what I wanted. And the woman at the hotel explained to me that yes and no were reversed as far as what we know in Western cultures. Another thing that I found to be quite different was catching a taxi in Greece. Or let me narrow that down, I'll say Athens, because I think that's the only place I actually took a taxi. So what happens is, they have taxis just like we have in, well, almost any other country in the world. And in the USA, what you do is you call for a taxi, or you go to the street to try to hail a taxi, and you get in and you tell them where you want to go. Easy peasy, no problem. Well, not in Athens. And I don't know if it's like that in the rest of Greece, but it may be. In Athens, what happens is the taxi drives by with his windows down, and you yell your location into his window. And if he happens to be going that way, he will pick you up. If the taxi is not going that way, they will not pick you up. Despite the fact that you are paying for their service, you have to be going in a way that they are already headed. Otherwise, you have to wait and find one that's going your way. I found that difficult to understand because if I'm paying for a service, why am I letting them control the service that I want? You know, I'm paying you to take me from point A to point B. I'm not paying to be company to you while you just happen to be going to where I'm going. I found that to be incredibly different because of the fact that I'm used to paying for the service that I want. I'm not used to paying for a convenience for the person giving me the service. So that was one thing that I had to get used to when I was visiting Greece. So what about you? Has there been a cultural difference that was not too different from what you were used to in the country you visited? Leave a comment below and let us know. This is the Florida Writer signing off. Goodbye.